Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 2 of our league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on November 14th, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play at whatever format everyone wants. League Challenge, Thursday, November 21st at 6 p.m. League Cup, Saturday, November 23rd at 11 a.m. And League Challenge, Thursday, December 19th at 6 p.m. all Central Time, all at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, Hydrapple. On the right, Gardevoir. Looks like our Hydrapple player is starting things off for us. Applin in the active spot. A Teal Mask Ogerpon in hand, and starting things off with a Trekking Shoes. That item card has the player look at the top card of the deck. They can keep it and draw one. They can keep it or discard it and draw one more card. It was a Hydrapple EX, so that's why the debate here. You could get it back later with some recovery cards, but it's also nice to have in hand to evolve next turn, as there is an Applin out already, so they decide to keep the Hydrapple and then play another Trekking Shoes. To look at the top card of the deck, it is a Grass Energy. It's going to get discarded there to draw one more card, finding that Iono for next turn. 3 different supporters in hand now, as that Teal Mask Ogerpon EX is put onto the bench. And I think we're going to see a Teal Dance. Accelerate an energy to it is its ability, and then draw a card. And that Bug Catching set is found and played now. To look at the top 7 cards of the deck, and you could put 2 of any combination of Grass Pokemon and Grass Energy you find there into your hand. Just 2 Grass Energy in those 7 cards there. Rare candies were coming up next and everything too. But the 2 Grass Energy added to the hand, thinned out of the deck off of that Bug Catching set. Grass Energy attached manually per turn to the active Applin, and play is passed over to our Gardevoir player on the right. They start things off with that Buddy Buddy Poffin, that item card that allows them to search their deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less to put onto the bench. Usually it's double Ralts being grabbed off of this item card here, but it just depends on what's in hand, what's in deck, and what the player's strategy is. So we'll see what they decide to grab off of this Buddy Buddy Poffin. I believe I see the double Ralts eyed up and executed there. Now if we can get one more Ralts on the bench, that's even better. So next, a Arven is played. That supporter card has the player search their deck in order to find a item card and a tool card. They are going second, so if they play the TM Evolution, that could be the tool card there. Instead it was a Bravery Charm and a Nest Ball as grabs there from the Arven. Nest Ball is now played to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. Nest Ball being grabbed over Buddy Buddy Poffin. It's interesting there. Maybe there's a couple Ralts prize. Either way, that Nest Ball found that disruptive Clef Key. Energy was attached to the active Drifloon in order for it to retreat and get that Psychic Energy in the discard pile. It retreats into the Clef Key. Clef Key's now in the active spot, meaning its Mischievous Lock ability is online. If it's in the active spot, basic Pokemon in play have no abilities except for Mischievous Lock, shutting down all the opponent's Teal Dances. Luckily for the opponent, there are supporter cards in hand to draw cards with, but this is really disrupting the Hydrapple's deck strategy here with this one baby set of keys. Either way, play resumes over on the left-hand Hydrapple side. as the player's looking through their hand, assessing their options, trying to figure out the best card to play. Energy attached to the active Applin per turn. And now it's just which supporter card to be played. The opponent has way less than 6 cards in hand, so it unfortunately won't be an Iono, but it looks like they have to play. Nope. The player was going to take the more conservative route and play the Iono, but that would give the opponent more cards in hand, so they're going to take a risk and go for the big Professor's Research here, discarding the hand and drawing 7 fresh new cards. Alright, we found another Applin and a lot more cards to play. So this is good, but we are missing that rare candy Hydrapple. That would have been a game changer here potentially, as double nest ball is being eyed up here. Maybe just play one at a time and see what's in deck, and the player agrees. Nest ball in order to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. It's going to be that Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Another nest ball is played to bring out that Pheasantipity EX. And it's Flip the Script ability. Not online currently, but we'll get to it as it becomes relevant. Now the player's going to shuffle their deck before playing another bug catching set. There were no rare candy in hand that I know of, but there was a trekking shoes. So now we're trying to thin the deck of all the it looks like the bug catching set's still out there, but not resolved, potentially. We'll go back in time here to check things out. Our player potentially getting a little ahead of themselves here, and maybe forgetting about the bug catching set. I don't think the bug catching set was played and then failed on purpose. So perhaps just a misstep on our player's side here, but we'll rewatch and do our best to move forward with this video, as a trekking shoes is played, drawing a grass energy, discarding it just to find another grass energy for hand. Applin put onto the bench now, and it looks like that's just a big pass here. Actually, the Applin will retreat into the Teal Mask Ogerpon, and then things are passed back over. Okay, so yeah, it looks like our player did get ahead of themselves and forget about that bug catching set. That was meant to probably thin some more cards out of the deck to dig a little bit more with the trekking shoes to try to find that rare candy to evolve that Applin and attack this turn. Oh well, either way, play resumes over on the right hand side on Gardevoir's side, and they start off with a Arven. Okay, Arven can find a item and a tool card. It looks like it was Secret Box and Bravery Charm that were the Arven targets there. Now the Secret Box Ace Spec card is being played. You have to discard 3 cards in order to play it, but when you do, you can search for every type of trainer card in your deck to add to your hand. Search your deck for an item card, a tool card, a supporter card, and a stadium card. Put them in your hand. We'll see what our player grabs here. So far, Artisan, Bravery Charm, Professor's Research, and an Earthen Vessel. Okay. Lots of cards, powerful cards, added to the hand here, with the keys in the active spot enforcing the lock as an Artisan is put into play. And that stadium allows each player to search their deck for a basic non-rule box Pokemon to add to the bench during their turn. So a Ralts is found off of that Artisan. Monkey Dory is put onto the bench now, as well as attaching a darkness energy to it. Adrenabrain, its ability is online to move damage counters from your side of the field to the opponent's when the time is right. Things are passed back over to our Hydrapple player on the left hand side. Nothing in hand. Mimic key, or Clef Key is locking things down here as a boss's orders potential stall card. Oh, and this will move the Clef Key to the bench as well. So boss's orders allows the player to pick an opponent's bench Pokemon and switch it into the active spot. Ralts pulled into the active spot here. Clef Key moves to the bench, meaning Mischievous Lock, its ability, is offline. So now the Teal Mask Ogerpon can dance once more. Energy accelerated to the active Teal Mask Ogerpon with its Teal Dance, and a Grass Energy was found. So it looks like our player's just attacking with the Teal Mask Ogerpon this turn for KO, so not too bad. And we're debating on playing the Superior Energy Retrieval right now or not. I think it's probably best just to save it. Our player agrees, manually attaches to the Ogerpon per turn, and uses its Myriad Leaf Shower to take the KO on the opposing Ralts. Ralts runs to the active spot on the right hand side, and play resumes there as a bench Ralts is evolved into a Kirlia. Bravery Charm attached to that Drifloon, giving it plus 50 HP. You guys will see why that's important later, I'm sure. And now we've got Kirlia's ability to use if the player decides to. Looks like they are thinking about using Kirlia's Refinement, but not before an Artisan. To search the deck for a basic non-rule box Pokemon to add to the bench. That Screamtail joins the party here and gets a Bravery Charm of its own attached to it. And Professor's Research is played next, discarding the hand and drawing 7 new cards. There is still Kirlia's ability to draw more cards if the player needs it. Refinement discards a card from hand to draw 2 more cards on that Kirlia there, getting more Psychic Energy in the discard pile to be accelerated with Gardevoir EX's Psychic Embrace ability. They can just retreat into the Clef Key here if there is no attack or anything else better to do, assuming they have an energy or way to retreat, of course. So Darkness Energy attached to the active Clef Key, retreating the Ralts, evolving it into a Kirlia. Now that Kirlia uses its Refinement ability to discard a card and draw 2 more cards. The Pokemon League headquarters put into play now, making all basic Pokemon's attack costs 1 colorless more. And things are passed over to our Hydrapple player on the left. No rare candy in hand yet, though there is a Hydrapple EX. No Teal Dance is online thanks to the Clef Key's Mischievous Lock. It might just have to be a research here. Actually gonna, probably end things with the research. So first gonna do Superior Energy Retrieval. Discard 2 cards and put 4 basic energy cards from the discard pile into the hand. Energy attached to the bench Applin, and then Professor's Research is used. Now that Grass Energy most likely should have been attached to the active Teal Mask Ogerpon, so that way it could attack under the Pokemon League headquarters. But we'll see how things work out here, as still no rare candy is found. There is a Hydrapple EX. So a Nest Ball will be played in order to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. Really no other option other than another Teal Mask Ogerpon to thin it out of the deck, even though its Teal Mask ability cannot be used currently. I don't see any other relevant moves here. Another prize card could have been taken with a attack, but thanks to the league headquarters, it's not going to happen. Our player's pointing out there that the attachment actually was put onto the Applin for turn. No more sneaking energy into play thanks to the Teal Mask Ogerpon's Teal Dance being shut down. So it looks like it's just a big pass here. I'll go ahead and move forward a little bit to get back into the action. I think we're still on the Hydrapple player's turn here. Let's see, a Super Rod could be played, but nope, just passing things over to our Gardevoir player on the right-hand side. Curlia on the bench is thinking about using Refinement, discarding a Rare Candy to draw 2 more cards. Another Refinement gets another Psychic Energy in the discard pile and draws another 2 cards. Let's see if they can get the Gardevoir EX online here, as a energy is manually attached to the active Clef key, and then an Iono is played. Iono has both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. Alright, we got the Gardevoir EX evolved in play now. Clef key manually retreats into Drifloon with that Bravery Charm attached. Now we're seeing how many Psychic Energy are in the discard pile. I'm sure enough to take the KO here. Gardevoir EX, of course, has a Psychic Embrace ability. You can accelerate a Psychic Energy from your discard pile to your Psychic Pokemon in play as many times as you want, but it takes 2 damage counters for each Psychic Energy accelerated this way. 4 Psychic Energy Gardevoir accelerated onto that Drifloon, meaning it's got 80 damage on it now. It can take it thanks to the Bravery Charm, giving it more HP, of course. Normally the Drifloon has only 70 HP, and Drifloon has the Balloon Blast attack. 30 times this attack does 30 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Balloon Blast, more than enough to KO the opposing Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, as Gardevoir jumps ahead in the prize trade here. Double Rare Candy and a bunch of energy in the hand for our Hydrapple player as Applin moves into the active spot. Finally, Hydrapple top decked and can come into play thanks to that Rare Candy, allowing the Applin to evolve directly into the Hydrapple Stage 2. Let's see what else our players got. We've got more Teal Dances now, since the Clef key's out of the active spot. So Teal Dance onto a bench Ogerpon to draw a card, and there's a supporter for a turn. It's not looking too bad here, as that Legacy Energy is manually attached to the active Hydrapple, making it give up 1 less prize card. And of course, the Legacy Energy counts as any energy, counting as grass here, adding to Hydrapple's attack. Also fully powering up that Hydrapple now. Now we see another Teal Dance on the other Ogerpon, drawing another card. I don't see any reason why not to bench this other Ogerpon. That happens, followed by an Iono, where both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. Not too much more action happening in this hand, so it looks like it's just a Hydrapple attack here. Hydrapple has a Syrup Storm attack for 2 energy, 30 more damage, or 30 plus 30 more damage for each grass energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Next was a Pheasantipity EX. Flip the script, since there was a KO on the opponent's last turn. We could draw 3 more cards with that Pheasantipity EX and its ability. Bug Catching Set will be played next. Look at the top 7 cards of the deck. put a Hydrapple EX and probably a Grass Energy into the hand there off of that bug catching set. Shuffle the rest of the cards into the deck. Remember, you can get any combination, 2 of any combination of Grass Energy and Grass Pokemon off of that. Rare Candy allows the other Applin to evolve into a Hydrapple. Finally, the Hydrapple have entered play. And Syrup Storm takes the KO on the opposing Drifloon. Screamtail EX moves into the active spot on the right hand side and play resumes there. Our player starts things off with an Arven, supporter for turn. Remember, allows them to search for an item and a tool card. Let's see what our player thinks is best here. Nest Ball as the item card to find more Pokemon, and it looks like that's it. Maybe all the tool cards are out of the deck at this point. Next is Kirlia's Refinement. Discard that Nest Ball to draw 2 more cards. Energy manually attached to the active Screamtail now. And Gardevoir EX uses Psychic Embrace to accelerate some energy. Debating on how much Psychic Energy to accelerate here. There are 5 in the discard pile, and you can accelerate them all to this Screamtail, since it has the Bravery Charm. Our player's trying to decide the best move here. Screamtail has the Roaring Scream attack. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So of course Psychic Embrace will put damage counters and energy onto the Screamtail, and then the Screamtail can attack any of the opponent's Pokemon on the other side, the active or the bench. They are going to go for the full 5 onto the Screamtail, putting 10 damage counters on it, meaning Roaring Scream is currently doing 200 damage, and that'll be all put on to the bench Pheasantipity EX on the other side, leaving it hanging on with 10 HP that can later be cleaned up by a Munkidori Adrenabrain. As play resumes over on the left hand side here. Now Hydrapple EX's Ripening Charge ability says once per turn you can attach a basic Grass Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, heal 30 damage. So that can take this Pheasantipity out of range of an Adrenabrain KO. But first they're going to start out with the Trekking Shoes. Drawing a card, discarding it, and drawing one more. Another Rare Candy found, but not really needed here. 3 cards in deck. There is still Iono, so no big fear of decking out here yet. As our players checking out the hand, trying to work things out, trying to figure out the best move to stay in the game with this tricky Gardevoir deck. Alright, Ripening Charge accelerates a Grass Energy onto the bench Hydrapple, followed by an Iono. Both players shuffle a hand, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. Both players will get 4 here. Another Grass Energy found, so that Ripening Charge from the active Hydrapple EX now can accelerate an energy to the bench Pheasantipity EX and heal 30 damage from it. 170 on that 210 HP Pheasantipity EX. 40 remaining, meaning it's out of range again of the Adrenabrain that moves 3 damage counters from their side of the field to the opponent's side of the field. And then Hydrapple EX takes the KO on the opposing Screamtail with Syrup Storm. Gardevoir EX floats into the active spot on the right hand side and play resumes there. Let's see what our Gardevoir player has in store for us next. Kirlia discards a card in order to draw 2 more cards with its ability. And then a Super Rod is played. That allows the player to shuffle back into the deck some resources from the discard pile. Any combo of Pokemon and basic energy. 3 Pokemon getting shuffled back into the deck there. Ralts, Kirlia, and Drifloon, I believe it was. Artisan's gone, so one of those basics can't be found instantly. But the Night Stretcher does bring back the Screamtail from the discard pile to the hand, and then it gets immediately benched. Next is Gardevoir EX's Psychic Embrace to accelerate a couple of psychic energy to itself, putting 4 damage counters on itself, of course. Now Gardevoir retreats into the Screamtail. Next, Munkidori uses Adrenabrain to move 3 damage counters from the Gardevoir EX to the opponent's board. We'll move forward here as looks like the opponent's getting a call. Alright, now we got action going on again as Gardevoir accelerates more energy onto that active Screamtail, leaving it with 10 HP left. Of course, that's what these markers mean here. And then Screamtail uses its Roaring Scream attack to clean up the KO on the bench Pheasantipity EX for 2 more prize cards. And play resumes over on the left-hand side. The KO's on board. I'm sure our player would love to take a KO on the Gardevoir if they could. I think they are down 2 bosses' orders already. No spoilers for the end of the game. Okay, it looks like our players got caught up there. That Munkidori moved the damage off of the Gardevoir EX last turn and put it on a Teal Mask Ogerpon. Players were just making sure the board is correct for the remainder of this game. Now our Hydrapple player thinks it's time to play that Super Rod to shuffle back some resources into the deck from the discard pile. Looks like it'll be a couple energy and that Pheasantipity EX. Yeah, there was a KO last turn, so we can get that Pheasantipity EX drawing cards this turn, as there's a Nest Ball in hand. Nest Ball will find that Pheasantipity EX, put it onto the bench, and they will try to flip the script in their favor here. Flip the script, drawing 3 cards, since there was a KO. Okay, Grass Energy accelerated into play. Oh, not accelerated into play yet, actually. As our players consulting the cards in deck. And there we go. The Teal Mask Ogerpon with no energy on it uses Teal Dance to accelerate energy to it and draw a card. Nothing else really to be played in the hand, so Hydrapple KOs the opposing Screamtail EX again for another prize card. Tying things up, 2 prize cards here in this endgame. As Kirlia now uses its Refinement ability on the right hand side to discard a card and draw 2 more cards. Ultra Ball now is being played to discard 2 cards in order to search the deck for a Pokemon, and it will be that Pheasantipity EX. That will go to the hand and then instantly be played onto the bench. Next, Flip the Script is used since there was a KO taken on the opponent's last turn to draw 3 more cards. Let's see how our Gardevoir player can respond here. They are consulting their hand, seeing what options they have. Looked like there was a Super Rod as a potential play. Actually going to be another Ultra Ball, discarding 2 more cards in order to search the deck for that Mimikyu. Looks like our Gardevoir player needs another turn here, as Gardevoir EX accelerates a couple more energy to itself with Psychic Embrace, just to retreat into that Mimikyu. Our player is consulting their discard pile in their hand as they now play a Professor Turo's scenario to pick that Pheasantipede EX up back and add it back into the hand, removing it as a liability to be KO'd for the last 2 prize cards next turn by the opponent. The Hydrapple EX may be still KOing the Gardevoir here, but maybe not after this. A Munkidori uses its Adrenabrain ability to move 3 damage counters off of that Gardevoir EX and put it onto a benched Ogerpon, and things are passed over. Now, the important thing about this Mimikyu that's in the active spot on the right hand side is it has the Safeguard ability. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. No Pokemon V in this Hydrapple deck, but currently there are only Pokemon EX in play, so nothing on the opponent's side can damage this Mimikyu. So something like a Gust will be needed to take a prize card, and it was made even more difficult by Professor Turoing that Pheasantipede EX. All that's in play is this, that's worth 2 prizes, is this Gardevoir EX. It's got 31, 30, 29, 290 HP. And let's see what Hydrapple's doing right now. 6, 7. The Hydrapple is currently doing 240 damage. But there we go. We need to put a lot of grass energy into play and have the boss's orders for game. And none of that is in hand for our Hydrapple player currently. Is the last boss's orders prized? Oh, our player played a Buddy Buddy Poffin in order to look through the deck, but that was an illegal Buddy Buddy Poffin. Since the bench is full, you can't play Buddy Buddy Poffin or Nest Ball if your bench is full. Of course, both players are responsible for board state here. The opponent didn't catch it. I'm sure it was an honest mistake, so that really didn't matter. I guess some knowledge was gained that there was no boss's orders in deck, I think was the reason for that Poffin there. But for the sake of the video, we'll just move forward and watch out for any more of those gotchas here. Learning here in the professor's lab today. And it looks like just a pass, so the Hydrapple can try to attack into the Mimikyu, but it won't do anything thanks to its Safeguard ability. The turn has been bought for the Gardevoir player. Let's see if they can close things out here. Energy accelerated to the active Mimikyu with Gardevoir EX's ability, Psychic Embrace. Mimikyu retreats into that Gardevoir. Gardevoir can swing for 290 damage, so 3 Psychic Energy will be accelerated to that Gardevoir with its Psychic Embrace ability to power up its attack 19, 20, 21, 22 on one of these Teal Mask Ogerpon. There we go. Boss's orders brings up one of the damaged Teal Mask Ogerpon from the bench. Gardevoir does 190 damage to it, taking the KO on it, and the last 2 prize cards of the game. What games have we been having here at this league night? so cool. What'd you guys think of this video and the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.